All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the HQ studio with a brand new, what is this, a soft light? Nick, the magician, the AV magicians brought a brand new soft light. If you're on YouTube, you can check us out. You can see the beautiful glow off of our dome pieces. Joined by Randy Angston. What's up, buddy?
How we doing?
Great.
Back in the saddle.
We're back in hot zona. We were up north for a couple of weeks or a week and a half or whatever, enjoying the weather, the woods, the rain,
the whispering pines.
But anyways, we're back, ready to hit it hard. Got a big Iron Circle experience coming up next week. I'll be actually heading out to hang with my parents here in Orlando, Florida for the LSU FSU game. It's like a bowl game preseason. It's almost like a beginning bowl. This is a bowl game style matchup. You got 5 versus 8. This would be like the Chick-fil-A bowl, and you know what I mean?
Yep.
Anyways, all good. Excited to get back here, get back into the swing of things. Just met with Zach. We got the SOPs happening. It's just a lot going on, which is awesome. It was good to see everybody again today.
Yeah, walking through.
I literally haven't been here in 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
Still running, still growing, having a record month for sales. Delta's like 8,000, which is great. So a lot to talk about today. This show comes from a coaching call. This is something that I want to get out immediately because this is a problem in a lot of gyms that we work with. But a great coaching call yesterday with a couple of new clients. Young owners kind of inherited a gym, and they don't see the things I see sometimes because they haven't faced it, right? I'm 15, 14 years of brain damage going into this business, and we've kind of worked through a lot of the stuff already, and we've been exactly where they were. And what do I mean by that? Well, first off, they bought a gym, they inherited a gym, or they inherited the problems from the gym that they bought, right? And and you may listen to this and be like, no, that's not really a problem. We do the same thing. But let me explain what I'm talking about. This is a personal training gym. It's a big box as well. And they've got, kind of like one-on-one, and they've got like team training and stuff like that going on, and some semi-private. And so each coach is in the gym. I think they had 7 or 8 coaches, and most of them are one-on-one. And the reason they have so many coaches is because they do one-on-one. You can't scale unless you have another coach and another coach and another coach, right? And so the way that they're structured in regards to the clientele is at putting them at risk. And there's potential problems, and they've already seen it happen. So I know it's true. Each coach has their own roster of clients that they train, that they do the programming for, that they do the check-ins for, they schedule. And those are their clients. Now, they didn't bring the clients in with them. They were given the clients as the gym sold memberships. They would assign a client to a coach, and those clients would never train with another coach.
Gotcha.
And they're in a one-on-one atmosphere, and that's the way they've run. I think this gym been around 5-7 years, something like that. So, well, Tim, why is that a problem, right? Why would that be a problem? Well, 5 things. I mean, honestly, they probably 50 things. But problem number 1, each coach is training and programming individually for their group of clients. There's no methodology that's uniform across the whole facility. And it looks like a mix match of training modalities within the same 4 walls as everybody else.
In the same delivery too. Same, one-on-one, yeah.
So we had this in my first facility, but we had independent trainers. And so when I first opened my gym in 2009, I was mostly interested in the memberships and, let the trainers pay rent, and they could do whatever the hell they wanted. Literally walked in one day and I saw from Spectrum geriatric to bodybuilding to CrossFit happening in the middle of 3,200 square feet. It was a mess. I mean, we had band work going on with a group of 4 70-year-old women in one corner, and we had like Murph going on in the other, and then we had
posing going on in the mirrors and
posing. Now, for a young gym owner, 29 years old, that was pretty cool. But like at the end of the day, there's no culture. I mean, it was just all over the place.
Well, you know what cool is? An ego metric.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm sure, to your point, right? It felt good. But I mean, obviously we knew each other. That was when I started, training with your gym. And the business was not where the business needed to be, right? You weren't getting the benefit of that. And we'll get into why. But cool doesn't matter, if it's not putting cash in the bank.
Sure. Yeah. And so these coaches are doing their own thing. They have their own clients that came from the gym. And, obviously they pay the gym, the membership, and they get paid for their time or training the session. But the big what if is, what if trainer B decides they want to leave and go get another job? What do you think's going to happen to that roster of clients?
That coach basically owns those clients, in their eyes, for sure.
In the client's eyes, the benefit that they're getting from that membership is 100% on the shoulders of the coach.
The coach probably feels the same way.
The coach probably feels the same way. Irrespective of where that client came from, that they now own that client in a way. And so if that coach leaves, so does the roster of clients, and so does your, revenue.
Yep.
And they had told me before we even got into it that it had happened 2 times just before they took ownership of the gym. And they lost $20,000 in recurring revenue from 2 coaches. So each coach probably worth $10K.
It's more than the average gym makes a month.
You can't just bounce back from that.
No.
And that can happen 7 times right now in their gym. And I made it very clear this is a very big problem for them because they're handcuffed.
Yeah, they are.
They have no control. They piss off a coach, screw you, I'm out, and they pull their clients with them, the gym's clients with them, and the gym owners are screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the risk of the ownership of the operation, the coaches have no risk. They can go start up tomorrow at another gym. They go to a garage, a field, whatever they want. The gym owner has all of the risk and probably a personal guarantee with their home and assets involved in the decision they took to open that business, at least on the lease side.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Are you facing this in your gym? Is this something the way you have set up in your gym? If it is, continue to listen because we're going to tell you how we're going to solve this problem, right?
Yeah. And this is a big belief of ours. I mean, obviously we've made a lot of these changes, to your point, over the years through your facility.
Yeah.
This is something that we've helped a ton of facilities, adapt to or shift to. But this is a huge
It's a huge
issue.
problem. It's an issue, and sometimes you don't even realize how you got there.
Yeah.
Unless you're really proactive in how you set up your operations, this could happen overnight.
And it might seem like a solution until it isn't. You know what I mean? This might seem like a great thing. Take some of that work off your plate, right? The coaches are handling, quote unquote, so much of the work. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but they also own all of that responsibility and that, what comes with that work, right? And that's the perception that the client's going to have. That's the perception the coach is going to have. And ultimately both of those can impact the business and the business owner.
Correct.
Based on how those operate or the decisions that they make.
Exactly. And so I think if we were to go look on the other side of the spectrum, and in a perfect scenario, what I would like to see happen in any facility is that the programming comes from the gym down. So the programming lives at the gym level. Mm-hmm. The coaches facilitate the program. Okay, at least that. And I would really like to see the clients work with different coaches.
Yes.
If those 2 things are there, you're at least insulated on you're a little bit more protected than the other way.
Sure.
Of course, a coach could leave and solicit and do all these things. Of course, that they have an agreement that says they're not going to do that, but of course it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, having the programming coming from the gym down, a specific way that you train, methodology, a program of periodization, whatever that is, that needs to be owned at the gym level. Clients need to understand that the coach is a facilitator of said product, of said service. And it's not necessarily, I mean, of course, there's going to be those conversations and personal connections and in that coaching cue that really, help that client get that engagement in their glutes that, nobody else could do. And there's that special moments and stuff like that are always going to happen. But the grand scheme of things, the clients should feel like the value's coming from the gym.
Brand owned.
The brand owned gym.
Yes.
Right? They should feel that way. And another thing is, especially if you mix match coaches with clients, of course, they're not going to love that idea because they get used to routine. But like every so often, I mean, if you have a facility set up like we do in a semi-private atmosphere where the clients can come in at any hour of the day from 5 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night, every hour on the hour, that's our model. If they're normally coming in at 7 a.m. and they have a doctor's appointment, they can come in at 3 p.m. And of course, it's going to be a different coach. They get that same experience. We're really driving home the experience each client gets with each coach needs to be similar. They're going to be less worried about training with another coach than in the first scenario that we talked about with the young gym owners, right?
Like, they don't know my programming. They don't know me. They don't know. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
Well, if you move all those things to the brand,
right?
Like I think of coaches in a fitness facility like tools. They're tools in your repertoire, right? And each of them have a skill set. Each of them have things that they do better or worse. I mean, there's the human element, right? Between from one to the other, the education that goes into it, the continued education that goes into it, the things they enjoy. Our clients come to us as the experts to solve a problem for them. If we threw one coach and only one person's skill sets towards that, they're going to get the benefit of what that coach knows or that one coach is capable of. But if you put 4 people in the mix and the brand on top of it that's in charge of the control of the client's results, now you've got the ability. Sometimes maybe that second coach that they don't normally train with sees something that one coach doesn't all of the time. Right? Maybe they're looking past that cue that needed to be said, but the relationship outweighed the ability to communicate that, right? Maybe they became too buddy, and so now it's a comfortable.
And that happens.
Absolutely, right? Your clients need to be pushed, but you need to know how hard and when and where to push them, right? And if you're working with the same person all of the time, some of that stuff gets muted. Some of that stuff gets, exactly. And I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just, the relationship takes over and the experience can suffer as a result.
And that's actually something that we talk about in our sales consultations, that you get the benefit of working with the team.
Yeah.
And that's what we say. It's exactly what we say, or Zach says. And so the clients love that. And they come in knowing that there's a team approach to it. The programming is coming from the top down, all these good things. The other side of the story is how you pay your coaches, and you may be at risk again from something that you didn't even realize is happening. Mm-hmm. And so what I mean, how do I pay your coach? There's a W-2 employee and there's a 1099 contractor. Those are 2 different ways into the IRS's definitions of how you pay people, right? If somebody's an employee, you pay them on payroll. You have payroll taxes. There's FICA and all that good stuff that comes out. Social Security, the employer has to match all those taxes, and there's a higher cost and a higher burden to the business by paying somebody as a W-2 employee. Contrary to that, you have a 1099 contractor where you pay them a flat rate for the service, and there's no taxes deducted from your end or their end, and there might be a payroll service if you're using like ADP or Paychecks to process the 1099 check, but there's no taxes taken out of that. Well, Tim, would it make sense just to put everybody on 1099? Well, yeah, on paper, that looks like a hell of a lot better deal to the employer, right? Oh, I can just pay a flat rate. I don't have to pay taxes. Yes. However, there are major differences in the IRS's definitions of what is a contractor versus what is an employee. And a lot of you are breaking the law right now. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. I mean, talk about that, because it's not just the on paper stuff.
Yeah.
Right. The on paper is kind of what sets the tone, but it's the operation that follows that's what's putting people at risk.
Correct. How you treat and manage a contractor versus an employee, completely different. One of the biggest differentiators between the two is, number one, they say it right in their legal description, is, does that person wear your uniform? Does that person wear your logo? Do you tell that person what to wear? Then you're an employee.
Team meetings.
Hold on, there's plenty more. Do you tell that person how to do the job? Do you tell them what to do on the job? Do you tell them their schedule? If you do, they're an employee. Do you manage this person? Do you develop this person? Is there team meetings with this person? Then they're an employee. Contrary to that, the contractor, the easiest way to explain what a contractor is you call up a plumber to fix your toilet. They tell you when they're going to be there. They tell you how much it's going to cost, and they bring their tools, and they you're not telling that plumber how to
pull his pants up,
change the O-ring, and do a quarter turn valve instead of like the standard valve. You don't tell them how to do the job. They do the job.
Correct.
So if you are paying your trainers as 1099s, you may not tell them how to do the job. You may not tell them what to wear. You may not tell them when to be there, like a set schedule.
Yeah.
They are basically coming in, doing a job, and leaving, and they're responsible for all of it. And if you're in a facility where that's happening and the IRS finds out, you may never get caught.
Yeah, exactly.
You may never get caught. But if they do come in and audit your business and they see what's happening with your coaches and you're paying them as 1099s, but you're treating them as employees, you are on the hook for back taxes, back payroll, and all kinds of problems and fines and fees and interest. This happened to one of our Iron Circle members years ago. And she, in her small facility, I think it was just a few years she was doing this, she owed over $40,000 in back pay. This is enough to put somebody out of business.
Hell yeah.
And you need to double check and pump the brakes if this is happening in your facility. Now, I know there's loopholes. And I see it happening in a lot of big box gyms. At least it used to be this way. And you'll know this, Mountainside.
Oh, yeah.
Mountainside is a local company. They used to employ Core Performance Solutions as the personal training arm, a business within a business. Now, that business was paying their people as employees, but the Mountainside was paying them as contractor, because essentially they were the contractor and they had employees that were doing the job. That worked in the IRS's opinion. Now, I think they've taken it in-house and they've changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you need to not be at risk. Like, this whole episode's about putting yourself at risk. Like, if you're treating these folks as employees but paying as 1099s, you're at risk. If you are letting your coaches program individually for each client, however the hell they want, you're at risk. If they have their own roster of clients, nobody shares, and the client believes that the benefits that they're gaining are coming strictly from this particular coach, you're at risk. But it's all fixable.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, guys, I see it. A lot of gyms doing all of these things, and it's not a problem until it's a problem.
There you go.
And I'm trying, again, ProFit, we help gym owners win. This is to help you win, because I don't want to see this happen to you. I don't want to see a coach leave. I don't want to see the IRS come and catch you on an audit and nail your ass.
Yeah, take a bunch of your money.
Put you out of business.
It would. I mean,
a lot of us.
Yeah. Most facilities that we know, it would. You're playing with fire. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, to me, it's the decision of, like, what's easy today versus what's the right way to do it, type of thing, right? They're providing, or they're jumping to something that seems like a great idea, right? Oh, I could save all these. We're looking at all the pros. We're not even weighing any of the cons.
Oh yeah.
We've had our flag in the ground for a long time about making the brand, the controller, right? Bringing all of those the control, the programming, all of that stuff up to the brand. And if you guys think about it, you're building your business. As you're building your business, you're building brand recognition. If you're not working on building your brand and what your business is known for, it's a different model. I mean, there are plenty of facilities that do independent contractors. They run big, large facilities, and everybody pays them rent and they control their thing. That's a different business model than the way that you guys are running your training gyms. That's to Tim's point. If you're under the belief that you're the facilitator of all of these things, and you've got those independent contractors that you're trying to force, as employees in your business, I mean, you're pouring gas on the fire. You're just waiting for someone to light the match. And that's not the right way to go about the business.
Yeah, no, and again, maybe you don't even know. That's
my point. I think most situations, I mean, we see the pros. We don't even realize what are the repercussions.
Well, here's the scoop. I mean, I would want to believe that a gym is doing this unknowingly. Mm-hmm. I would think that they would look at the differences if they knew them, and make an easy decision to make these people employees so they don't put themselves at risk.
Exactly.
I would have to assume there's naivety, naivety here, that they don't understand that they're breaking the law. Mm-hmm. I would have to assume. But if you're doing this and you know it, even worse, because I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be in that position.
Hell no.
And so I don't know. There's a lot to think about. But here's the thing: if you take anything away from this episode, number one is how you structure your gym. As much as you think that this was the easy way, like you said, it may just have happened this way, the way the coaches are just doing the programming. Take a step back, look at it from the client's perspective. Where's the value? Why am I paying this membership? Why don't I just pay this dude and go train somewhere else in a garage or something? Because he's the one giving me the benefits. Don't put yourself in that situation. Make changes today to get out of that situation. And that's exactly what we're doing with these coaching clients. I've got a plan specific to them, and it sounds amazing. Like I was just telling Zach what the plan is, and he goes, dude, that is a really good way to do it. I didn't even thought of that, right?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to come up with the game plan, but it makes total sense the way we're gonna transition that gym, the entire staff, into semi-private, shared clientele, programming top down.
Yeah,
from the gym, and it's a great plan. So I'll let you know how it goes. I'm certain it's gonna work, but I'm just saying, hey, there's ways out of it. If you need help with this, jump on a call. This is what we do in our coaching program, winninggym.com/grow. That'll take you to the landing page,
Yep.
I think.
Oh, yeah. You'll be able to book a call with me. We'll jump on. We'll go over your business, much like we did, we kind of laid out today.
Yeah.
We'll give you the opportunities, and then we'll lay out the game plan, like Tim just said, how to make those transitions, whether it's editing your deliverables, whether it's, changes to your structure of your team, your staff scheduling, or your staff structure. All of those things. I mean, it's all part of what we do over 8 weeks, and you've got total access to Tim, myself, and Zach, his fitness director. So
yeah, it was great. This call went on, I think, 3 hours last night, and it was great. I mean, it felt like I was telling you, it felt like 30 minutes, but in a 3-hour conversation, I was able to dissect, create a plan. We have action items, and everybody's on the right track. Everybody knows the game plan, and it's going to work, and it's going to be amazing. And by the end of this 8 weeks and moving on into the next year, this business will be in a completely different place, complete control from the gym owners, the ownership. We help gym owners win, right? Gym owners. And they're going to be in a great place. I'm excited for them, and they're going to kill it. So anyways, if you need help, guys, winninggym.com/grow. That's it for this episode. Hopefully that helps you. Gets the wheels turning. Until next episode, keep changing lives. See you on the next show. Bye.
All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.